what I do remember was Mrs. Bateson lived in the schoolhouse, which was down near the mill, and she used to walk up through. Then there was a forest copse, which is now a field. She used to walk up through there, and the children always walked to meet her to carry her case that she brought to school. I do remember that. And the other thing was the milk we had at 11 o'clock in the morning or whenever. We had to go across the common about half a mile, quarter of a mile, to the farmhouse where the Goulden brothers farmed, and we took an enamel jug. There were always two of us, and you had to hand the jug over to this Miss Goulden that came to the door, and she never opened the door more than about 3 or 4 inches, so you only ever just saw her sort of side of her face as she took the jug away and filled it with milk and then gave us back, and we carried it back to the school in these enamel jugs.
The Ebeno Horn Fair,
yes.
What do you remember about that, and has that changed over time?
Well, I remember that the school was always closed for Ebeno Horn Fair. It was like, and I can remember thinking that all schools closed for Ebeno Horn Fair because it was probably such a special thing to us at that time. Yes. But I suppose, well, probably a bit more funfair sometimes these days. And I think in the early days, because my mum had a dart cup that she'd won at Horn Fair, and they must have had dart competitions. Well, that definitely doesn't happen now, and I can't really remember that really going on.
But it's still very traditional.
Yes, it is.
I think Horn Fair is probably one of the things about Ebeno that has changed the least, because it is so traditional.
Yes.
There's a traditional song they sing. Sheep is roasted on a spit to provide the lunch for the players. The rules of the game, the man who scores the highest number of runs on the winning side is presented with the horns of the sheep. And
we would have Ebeno a harvest supper. I can remember. Were you there when we had harvest suppers?
Yes, when I first
and there would be like a supper laid on in the farmer's barn, and a lot of the local people would go, and then local people would get up. Well, I remember when cousin Frank was
Audrey's
here, he would get up and sing. I do remember that happening as part of the entertainment. But whether other people did.
His party piece, he had quite a fine voice, and he used to sing The Volunteer Organist. I remember that so well. Well, songbirds are in big trouble everywhere. We're probably not there ourselves now often enough to know what their particular songbird situation is, but certainly songbirds in general are down. We encourage them. But I would think Ebeno is probably no worse than anywhere else, and probably with the way the common is being managed, it's probably a good deal better.